All right, we are recording, and I will send this over as soon as it processes, and I'll send it over to your email. So take it away, Nicole. You were saying?
Oh, I was, okay, I'm going to make an admission, and this is not meant to be crass or so very casual. It is a fact of life. I am going through perimenopause and menopause, and I just need a couple seconds. So if everyone can just be patient with me for a moment, I would just ask that of all of you. And if you do know someone who is 35 or over, who is a woman and may be going through perimenopause or menopause, this is a public service announcement that you need to give them an extra hug whenever you see them.
Well, you have my prayers and I'm here to learn and listen. So you just tell me what I need to do.
Well, I appreciate your prayers because prayer is powerful and I need that, especially in this particular case. So I know that we are working on a list of questions for you and your team, and whichever team member you think is most appropriate to answer that question, I just rely on you completely, Chris, to direct those questions or answer those questions yourself. Is that okay?
Yeah. Would it be helpful if I mentioned what team members are here and in what capacity?
Yes. In fact, I think introductions are important. I'm sorry, I was trying to lay ground rules. So yes, it's very important. Welcome everyone from the Life Remodeled team. And I'm extending the welcome from my team, the Cooley Development team. So we do not need faces necessarily. I don't want anyone to feel obligated in any way. I'm an English professor, and we consider that to be a right of everyone to either show or not show their faces. So with this in mind, Chris, will you go ahead and introduce your team members? And then, of course, I'll follow by introducing mine.
Absolutely. Would love to. So we have Ms. Gina Peoples on the line, who is a Life Remodel board member. She is a longtime member of the communities surrounding the Durfee Innovation Society and the Durfee Central community. She's also the chairperson of the Life Remodel Community Advisory Council, which exists to advise Life Remodeled on what the Durfee Central community wants the Durfee Innovation Society to look like, continues to shape the Durfee Innovation Society for the future. Also on the call is Brandy Haggins, who is a Life Remodeled staff member and the director of the Durfee Innovation Society. We also have Renard Wilson, who is our new vice president. And we are so blessed to have him just recently join our team. He took the position that Dewan vacated. As you know, Dewan is now on our board of directors. And so Dewan is either on this call or about to join. He might already be.
I see him.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do see him.
Okay, great. I don't even see him. But, oh, there you are. What's up, Dewan? And that is the extent to who's on the call. And just to clarify, what I was looking for on our end is really I would, well, let me stop. Let me let you do the introductions and then I'll go from there.
All right, then. Well, let me begin by, wow, there's so many people to introduce. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. So the first person that I see, and thank you, Rochelle, for joining us today. I know your time is very limited. Rochelle Linto is our attorney at Dykema. And so
hi, good afternoon.
Nicole, you know what was happening was I was hearing this echo and I did a mute.
I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so here we go. One more time. All right, technology. So I want to introduce Rochelle Linto. She's the first person I see, and I've been accused many times of not observing hierarchical levels and positions. So although I'm introducing her first, she is an integral part of a much larger group, and each person is extremely important. So Rochelle is our attorney. She is at Dykema. She's a member at Dykema, which always makes me chuckle a little bit when I say it out loud. And then I see her next to my former board member, Ulysses Newkirk. He is permanently and his heart is ensconced in the North End area. And he, as a former board member of Cooley Reuse Project, has so generously given his time to us as a development team member. And then we have, I'm so proud to say, Nancy Finegood, who is the former executive director of Michigan Historical Preservation Network. And she tells me that now that she's retired, she's even more busy than she was before. So it's even more special to have her on board. And just a little further note that I have been accused of saying like a broken record many times. As an English professor, it's very special that she was an English teacher at Cooley in the 1970s. So her heart is very much attached to the future of the school. And she has been a willing participant in this endeavor from the beginning. I also see someone who has also been in this from the beginning, Lionel Dalton, and he joins us as a Cooley alumnus, a NFL football star who wears a Super Bowl ring, which I'm sure is an event we all enjoyed. Yes, indeed. They make $800 billion with a B dollars at least every Super Bowl, and they are the largest nonprofit anywhere. And Lionel, I'm really appreciative of you coming to this meeting. And I just want to say a special thanks to him and his wife and his support team, because Lionel, unfortunately, went through a health scare from which he has rebounded incredibly. Just a few weeks ago, Lionel did not sound like the Lionel that I just spoke to on the phone a little while ago today. I want to also introduce Barbara Harrison, and she is a very special woman in my life. I turned to her, and I've told her this, and she said it's okay to say it. I turned to her like a mother, and she is a mother to many and was at Cooley while she served there as a nurse in the 1970s edition. And she is an active member of the community, a mother and proud mom of someone that I have come to admire very recently due to a lesson that I had to learn. So thank you so much, Barbara, for your time too. Let's see. I am going to leave it at that. I know Sandra Little was going to join us. She is our architectural consultant. She is a partner. They keep changing the name of this. I think partner is the name now at Quinn Evans. And I'm super proud to say that she is the person whose team originally did our architectural floor plans, site plans, and 3D renderings. So if Sandra is on the line, thank you, Sandra, for joining us. And so I'm going to leave it at that. There are other people on, but as I said, in the interest of time, I just like to make sure that we, respect everybody's time, because it's so rare these days.
Awesome. Did you want me to share now, Nicole, or?
Please go ahead. I'm all done with my introductions.
Oh, awesome. All right. So the reason I wanted to get this call today is because I want to figure out from you or anybody who wants to share on your team, if there's anything that Life Remodeled has done to either personally offend anyone on this call, or anything that we need to do differently that you haven't liked how we've gone about what we've done. And the reason I say that is because, I was really excited about the relationship, Nicole, that you and I had begun forming, and then you and Dewan had begun forming. I know we started engaging the Cooley community in February of last year, but I'm not exactly sure the date you and Dewan first connected. But I remember the great Zoom you and I had, and if maybe I misheard, but when we were talking, I was under the impression that the Cooley Reuse Project had decided to not go forward with trying to acquire Cooley anymore. And I was first informed by several different individuals in the Cooley community that you were now ready to make an offer on the building. And what I want to make really clear is that we do not want to compete with you at all. We don't have any interest in competition. And when you and I talked via Zoom
in 2016. Oh no, not in 2016. So many years ago, when we had very first met. You're talking about this most recent meeting.
Did we meet in person in 2016? I don't remember.
We talked on the phone, and I came to one of your many wonderful presentations that were free for development. And I remember, and you were swarmed with people. I know you don't remember, but I did shake your hand and say, oh my gosh, we talked so many years ago. And you're like, oh, that's great. And I'm sure you say that to everybody who comes up to you. It's such an incredible meeting, such a great opportunity to learn more from the panelists that you brought in.
Well, I want to say, I was really encouraged with the way our relationship was, at least on the call that we had about Cooley specifically, toward the end of last year, right? And it seemed like there was going to be a lot of potential for us to collaborate, work together, that you were in favor of Life Remodeled, seeking to acquire the Cooley building. At least that's how I interpreted it, right? And maybe I misinterpreted that, and that's fine. I would love to change my interpretation, or maybe we did something wrong that I'm not aware of. And if either of those are the case, I would love to learn what we need to do differently, where I need to apologize. But again, we do not want to compete, and we want to also make sure we're recognizing again the work that you've done for years. From my far away observations is incredibly impressive. Not that you need my validation in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you. And I say the same to you. As I had mentioned before, I've only admired what I've seen at Durfee. Like I said, with the meeting I attended and seeing the change, I had said this to you when we had talked on the phone. When I went into Durfee with my son, who was in academic games before you came in, it was a horrific experience. A child, because parents can't be like in the mix during academic games, so you just get to sit there for hours and hours. And so I was like, well, why don't I take a tour of this school? And it looked like a bowling ball had gone from the roof through the floor in not one, but many of the classrooms that I saw. And then when I came in afterward, after Life Remodeled, I'll say, and your whole team had totally changed this building, it was extremely impressive to me. And this poor child who walked me through his entire school was like, we don't use these classrooms anymore. We can't use this library anymore. And I was just like, oh, like my jaw dropped when I first walked into Durfee, and I was extremely, extremely impressed. And when Pastor Will, who I hope is on this call, asked me, he's like, well, what do you think about Life Remodeled? I said, I think they'll be a great neighbor because everything I saw. I attended a meeting for one of my board members, Ingrid LaFleur, who had a meeting in the upper floors, and it was a lovely room. And just like I said, it was incredible to me, the transformation that I saw. So that is not the issue for me as far as partnership. And we do have some questions, and I think they'll kind of come out at the answer to your question after we go through them, if that's okay. Yeah. Would that be all right with you? Okay, great.
Want to listen and learn, absolutely.
And actually, it's us learning from you, because you're obviously the person with the experience, and we understand that, and we sure do want to learn at every possible juncture, and this is a great opportunity for us. So we're thankful for your time and your team's time. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my first question. And this, I think, like I said, will kind of highlight for me sort of where you are, because from what I've seen, it's only been thumbs up. So this is what I want to know. How do you define success at Durfee, at Cooley, for your partners? Because that's what we're here to meet about today. And really, the reason that I have done any of this work for all this time is for the community. So we have 4 different things, and I know that's a lot. Usually you're supposed to limit it to 3. I know that's the rule, but we just want to know how you define success at Durfee, because for me, I'm just looking at Durfee going, wow, this is a night and day change. At Cooley, I don't think there's anywhere to go but up. So how do you define success there? And then for your partners, which could be us, I'd like to know how you define that success. And then, of course, I'd be happy to answer that question for you too in turn, but the last part and the most important to me is to know about the community. And I want to just, because I feel a little nervous, I'm going to admit that. And I did not acknowledge my husband of 20 years. And I just want to thank him for being on this call, because he is the person who laid next to me and birthed this idea way before 2012 when we started. So just thank you so much, Lamar, for all your commitment and support all these years. It means a lot to be at this really special meeting with you and all the rest of you too. All right, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. White and Wade's here. Okay.
I'd love to meet your husband as well. Obviously, sounds like a very impressive man. So
he's the best. He's the very, very best.
Well, to respond to your questions, I'll try to keep concise answers. The mission here at the Durfee Innovation Society is providing opportunity for all Detroiters with specific focus on those who live in a 4 square mile area surrounding the Durfee Innovation Society. And success to us is all about the social impact in the community as it relates to delivering on commitments that we've made to the community in response to what the community has asked for. So there was a tremendous amount of community engagement that went into discerning what types of tenants to attempt to recruit to fill the Durfee Innovation Society. And the 3 major buckets of requests that came from the community for the Durfee Central community, where they wanted to see more opportunities in the areas of education, jobs, and human services. And so what we were able to do is respond to those requests by recruiting tenants. We're at 97% occupancy in the building. And the whole point of success for us is getting the right tenants and then ensuring that they're working collaboratively with the community and with each other to deliver on those areas. So when it comes to the area of education, our tenants collaboratively are serving over 5,000 Detroit children and youth with after-school programming. And one of our goals, which we're measuring, is by the year 2025, we want to see Durfee Elementary Middle School right next door become the most improved school in Detroit as a result of many factors, one of them being access to after-school programming that did not exist in this community prior to the existence of the Durfee Innovation Society. And when it comes to jobs, our tenants are helping 5,000 Detroit adults obtain opportunities to get sustainable living wage jobs. None of them are temporary jobs, they're livable wage jobs. And so our goal is to continue to see that amount of jobs opportunities provided year after year. And when it comes to human services, our tenants are helping 4,000 children, youth, and adults with everything from 2 foster care and adoption agencies to a cancer support group to a group that serves 900 senior citizens with various programs. A federally qualified health center is here. And so success is about social impact and then financial sustainability so that this thing doesn't go under. Many people on this call might be familiar with Youthville, which was an incredible mission. And I happen to be friends with the son of the man who started the organization and unfortunately passed away. And the vision was not able to continue. Youthville was very similar to the Durfee Innovation Society. It was reliant upon tenants and organizations being able to sustain. Unfortunately, it fell apart and it didn't sustain. And that story was actually one of the most challenging stories to our fundraising efforts because many philanthropists in the area were very familiar with the Youthville story. And the last thing any of our philanthropists wanted to do is pour money into a project that would not be sustainable. And so financial sustainability is very important for success to ensure that everything that we work with the community to achieve is long lasting. And so when it comes to Cooley, there would be the same concept in that success for us would be delivering on the community's hopes and dreams in a way that aligns with what we're capable of doing. We're never going to try to be a savior as an organization. We know that there is no savior organization. We're certainly not going to attempt to become all things. We know what we're good at, and we're trying to communicate what we know that we're good at. And a big part of that is we're good at learning. We're good at listening to the community, learning from the community, and then responding in the way that our role is to find the best and brightest organizations that can help deliver on the opportunities that the community and Cooley is asking for. And then, of course, financial sustainability of the project is essential, just like at Durfee, to ensure that we don't get some really great thing started and then it all comes crashing down.
Of course, yes. Well, sustainability is a cornerstone, I think, of any development project from a responsible development team. So we definitely agree on that. So then let's see. So with our partnership, that I think is the remaining portion of the answer that we're looking for. So what would be success as far as our specific partnership? And you were very kind to tell everyone in this meeting about, what you think our successes have been. So with your successes in mind that you have just mentioned and the successes that you've been so kind to mention for us, how do you see those coming together as a partnership? Because that's why we have our attorney and our main development team members on the line with us. And I know Dewan had told me that you have an expertise in the development area, and that was very impressive to me, Dewan. So I know that you've got a good, solid member. I'm sorry, I can't remember everything you said about your other team members, and I apologize because I met Dewan personally, and it was such a treat to pass out Halloween candy with you last year. But I do wonder, like I said, about that very specific way that you see our two teams coming together and working together, utilizing the strengths that you have already outlined.
Well, when you say we partnering, I want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. Are you talking about the Cooley Reuse Project? Is that the name of your organization at this point?
No, it is a Cooley Development Team, because Cooley Reuse Project is a project that did not successfully get a response to our 3 purchase offers, 2 of them before the fire and 1 of them afterward. So maybe I feel like it's a little bit of a jinx to keep the same name. Forgive me for being a little superstitious in a group of Christians. But this is no longer the name of our project. It is Cooley Development Team, and I'm being paid by a Cooley alumnus who is the founder of a nonprofit who wants to buy Cooley. So I am no longer Nicole Pitts, the champion of lost causes. I am now the paid person to champion what may or may not be a lost cause, depending on how things roll out the next couple Saturdays.
Without me really knowing what the Cooley development team is, it's hard for me to say about what a partnership could look like. Because where I was entering in from this call was, again, I felt very surprised that it seemed like you were excited about Life Remodel purchasing Cooley. And then I heard from other community members that you had changed your mind. And I don't know if that's, obviously it's true now, you're planning to buy the building. And of course I was very surprised by that. And like I was saying earlier, we don't want to compete with your organization attempting to purchase the building. And so really my question is more along the lines of, I don't have an answer to your question, I guess, in terms of the partnership, because I don't know what it is that you're seeking or asking for.
Maybe, let me stop you there, because I know Rochelle can jump in. Rochelle, would you go ahead and start kind of addressing the question that Chris has asked, because I think it's a very legitimate one and it deserves an answer.
Well, Nicole, I'm not 100% sure. I think what you're looking for is how does Life Remodeled work collaboratively with partners? And how do you define and how do you work in a partnership? Like, what would be your role? What do you view the role as a partner in a development project? I think that's probably what Nicole is looking for, more so than specifically how you would work with the Cooley development team. I think it's what your general philosophy is on collaboration and partnership. Is that kind of what you're looking for, Nicole?
I think so. And just to say thank you for that clarity, because I don't want to frustrate you, Chris. My husband of 20 years will tell you that I do talk a lot and sometimes don't quite get to the answer. So I'm so glad for my team members to help clarify for you and your team. If Nancy could chime in. Nancy, are you free to talk to us and unmute yourself?
I am, thanks. Hi, Chris. So I think part of the question is, what does this partnership look like? And is there room for a partnership? between your organization and this development team.
Okay.
Is that legitimate, Nicole?
Yes, I think so. Both you and Rochelle definitely have clarified for me. And if my husband wants to say a thumbs up or something, I'd love to see your reaction to Lamar. Go ahead.
To Lamar or to me?
No, please go ahead, Chris. And if you would, as best you can, answer the question. I'm just waiting, I don't want to interrupt anything. So like the thumbs up, and I see Andrea has her hand up as well. Andrea, if you could put in the text what it is you want to say, that would be very helpful. And that way, again, we can just be very cognizant of everyone's time. Go ahead, Chris. So sorry for the interruption.
So let me just start then with our how we do partnerships. I mean, that's the only way our organization is what it is. Everything we do is about partnerships. All of our tenants are partners, our donors are partners, the community is our partner. So our philosophy on partnerships is they're everything. And we definitely want to partner with the Cooley community. We want to partner with a wide number of people when it comes to this project, if we were to move forward with it. And we are not going to submit an offer to the school district unless we get a formal letter of request from Cooley community leadership inviting Life Remodeled to do so. So the context of partnership, I just want to make sure I'm being clear. If I'm understanding this question correctly, I haven't proposed a partnership with the Cooley development team at this point.
My apologies for misunderstanding. I understand you did say in the subject line, Cooley discussion. So forgive me for making this assumption. And I think still the question is legitimate because it's helpful for all of us to understand what our view of success is. So thank you for clarifying again for me and my team. This is not a meeting to discuss partnership. I totally understand that now.
No, I'm not saying I'm not open to discussing it. What I'm saying, I just want so everybody under the call understands, there have been multiple individuals from the Cooley community who have come up to me and they've said, hey, Nicole is planning to buy Cooley. Would you partner with her on it? And what I wanted to say to you, what I said in the email and what I'm trying to say now is I'm all about transparency. Let's have a face-to-face in today's world of COVID. I wish we could do a real face-to-face, but let's do a face-to-face. And I don't want to respond to someone else saying what they think Nicole wants. I want to ask Nicole directly, is a partnership something you're seeking? Because when it comes to a partnership for Life Remodeled, there's no way I can talk to any organization about a partner, any kind of form of partnership without understanding what it is they're bringing to the table and what it is they want, right? So, I can't say yes or no to a partnership without understanding.
100% understand. Well, we are right at the 12:30 point, and I can tell you that on Saturday, we're supposed to be expressing to the community what it is we want to do, what we plan to do. And I suggest that maybe we go ahead and allow that process to take place this Saturday at 10 a.m. and also next Saturday at 11. And then you'll know exactly 2 times what it is that we propose. And maybe we can have another discussion just like this one with that understanding. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Great.
Okay.
And someone does have their hand raised, and it's our financial consultant, Gerard at PNC Bank. Go ahead, Gerard, unmute yourself and have your say.
Hey, how you doing, Chris? Hey, absolute pleasure having this second to speak with you today. So there's a couple of things that we wanted clarification on, because when you sent out a formal invite for us to have the discussion, it really didn't have any agenda per se, so it threw us off guard. So if I can be frank, what is the purpose? Well, should I say, what is the nature of having this conversation?
Oh, absolutely. So the nature for me is I didn't learn from anybody on this team that this team was planning to put an offer on Cooley. I learned it from other people in the community, and I didn't want to respond to things I'm hearing from a third party. I wanted to be able to respond directly to Nicole. So we didn't bring together our development team, all the positions in terms of legal and leasing and construction and architecture, that we weren't prepared to get into a discussion about what our vision is for the Cooley building in response to what the community has told us their vision is for the community. What I wanted to do is clarify, one, is there something that we did wrong that I need to apologize for? Because I feel caught off guard from where the,
Really?
well, I mean, I don't mean, maybe let me clarify. I'm surprised, right? I thought that we were operating from a place where, Nicole, you wanted to work with Life Remodeled to purchase Cooley. And as I'm saying now, okay, got it.
I mean, I think that's obvious because we're having 2 meetings.
I don't know.
This Saturday and next Saturday. As far as I just talked to Deacon Thomas before this meeting, and he is arranging it. So maybe my question then, the overarching question, because first of all, there's nothing for you to apologize for. In fact, I'm thankful and grateful for you and your interest in Life in Cooley, because you've brought all of us together again, and this has been a blessing to me. So I thank God for you.
Yeah, I don't mean to
I thank God for you.
I don't mean to say that I thought you wanted to partner with us now. I definitely didn't think that.
I don't think I ever suggested that I wanted to partner with you. In fact, I remember our meeting and I was very clear about that.
Okay.
When we talked on the phone, you and I, for Zoom.
Again, maybe I misunderstood, and that's what I wanted to clear up, right? And I don't mean.
So I'm so sorry that I brought my whole team and donors and everyone here to talk about something that I totally misunderstood. So apologies to everyone, but this is good. This is great for all of us to have this clarity. So we are planning to buy Cooley, the Cooley development team. There's nothing against you, as I said, and there's nothing for you to apologize for. I am interested in our upcoming, I don't even know what to call it. Your presentation, our presentation, the community making their decision. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I thought you wanted to partner. That's why I brought this team, but I see that that is not the case. And we never never in a discussion of partnership at any point, that, as far as I can remember, Chris. But again, menopause.
No, I said the word that I thought you wanted to partner with us. Forgive me. I thought you wanted to work with Life Remodeled in the past. And you know, all what I'm picking up here is I want to partner in the sense I want to all work together collaboratively if Life Remodeled is invited to renovate the Cooley building. I want to work collaboratively.
Right.
I want
yes, and thank you for that. I appreciate that. I am not interested in working with Life Remodeled, but we have 2 meetings that are going to determine who's going to be able to make a purchase offer. And that's what I'm most interested in, is determining that. And then once that is determined, I would be very interested in talking to you further, but not in the sense of partnering.
Okay.
Of being a support, as I have been from the beginning. When you came to me and we talked, you said, Nicole, we're interested in buying Cooley. Who are some of the community leaders? And I said, well, there's Deacon Thomas, there's Joyce Brooks, and there's Mrs. Sterling. And you contacted them and several others who I also gave you, several Cooley alumni. And I have been a partner, I guess, like partner in that way. So that's just common courtesy for someone who is a human being and asks for help. So like I said, if you want to call me a partner, and I'm doing air quotes right now, yes, but I don't want to be part of your team because I have my own team.
Yeah, and I guess I wasn't trying to make any formal invitations. I was trying to understand if there was something you wanted from Life Remodeled, and then that.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing that I need from Life Remodeled other than to have this clarity, which I appreciate.
Okay, and we want to cheer you on. I mean, we want to see the Cooley community get what the Cooley community wants. We don't want to be in a competition.
This isn't a competition, Chris. This is votes for whoever the community wants, and it'll be, you know, I have no animosity whatsoever. Like I said, I'm always going to be a support, but I don't want to be a partner. And that's what I just want to clarify in this meeting for everyone. And I know that this is being recorded, and I really appreciate you offering to send this recording to us so that those who couldn't join us can see this. But we appreciate your time so much, and you have nothing but my respect as far as the accomplishments that you've made. And I think our face-to-face meeting really brought out a lot of the community's issues, which I know you're well aware of. So there's nothing for me to say that can add to any of the meetings that we've had so far. I think I've said everything I need to say, but there are a couple hands up, and I don't want to ignore Dewan, who has had his hand up, and I'm going into teacher mode, excuse me, but I don't want to ignore anyone. And Dewan, did you want to say something?
Thanks.
We can't.
Can y'all hear me? Everybody hear me? Good. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, thanks for at least taking the meeting with us. I think that you answered the question that sounded like the underlying question that Chris had about was there something that was done that was seen as offensive to the community or to you kind of personally? And it sounds like it sounds like that's a no. You were just approached by somebody and there was a pivot and an opportunity that presented itself to you, you know, to, I guess, form this team. So I guess for moving forward, I guess one of the things that's confusing to me that if there is zero desire to partner, like, why do we bring the whole teams together if you were under the impression that this was a potential partnership meeting, but there's no interest in the partnership? Like, why was the whole team assembled and we kind of like congregating here? Because it seemed like if there was no desire, then it's just and you thought this was a meeting to talk about partnership, it would have just been a, you know, kind of no, like, we don't want to tie up all these people with very important schedules and busy schedules and all of that.
I have to apologize for that. I just, may I answer your question? May I answer your question?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, I'd like to. And I again, keeping everybody's time in mind. So I did not understand the nature of this meeting. And there's no point in me sharing the email that Chris had sent. But what he said in that email is that he had heard that we were interested in buying Cooley and he wanted to have a Cooley discussion, and that some people, not him, had suggested partnership. And I thought, wow, what a great opportunity to meet with Chris and his team to find out more about this. So that's why I'm here. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be totally frank. And I do believe that the Cooley alumnus, who is the founder of the nonprofit that is going to buy Cooley, he did not fully disclose to me the nature of the interest that he had and the motivation that he had in offering me a position as his manager and to move forward with trying to buy Cooley when he already knew that your organization was going into that. So he did not fully disclose that to me until just before this meeting. And that is the reason. And I will not disclose that reason, but it is that conversation that happened just before this meeting that has solidified he's the final decision maker. I am merely his employee. So it is his decision that he does not want to partner with you. It is not my decision because I am his employee. So you'll have to talk to him about that when the time is right for us to disclose who he is. And we are not going to do that until we know the vote of the community. So that is where it stands. It sounds like I don't think there is much more to say. I see that Gerard has his hand up, but if you want to finish, Dewan, because I know I did rudely interrupt you, please go ahead.
No, that wasn't rude at all. No, and I appreciate the clarity. And yeah, I guess we are where we are. It sounds like one way or the other, the Cooley community stands the chance of like getting something done with that amazing building, and hopefully it'll bring some resources to well-deserving community. So one way or the other, sounds like there's going to be a win. So whatever happens, you know, we wish you guys the best of luck, but ultimately we're wishing the community the best of luck, which I think that's one thing that we do partner on and we stand united on. So
And if I can just make sure to give the chance to Gerard, our financial consultant. Gerard, did you want to say some last word? I don't want to lose this opportunity since we're all together here, and we're just coming up on 2:42, so we've got some time. Just a 45-minute meeting. I hope everyone can avail themselves just for the remaining minutes. Go ahead, Gerard.
So thank you, Nicole. So I think the hand was still up. I don't think my hand was.
Oh, by accident.
Like,
okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. But if I will leave and say this. We definitely appreciate the opportunity and having discussions with the Life Remodel team. Just again, it just kind of caught us off guard because you extended the invite for having a discussion this late in the game, right? When you talk in terms of doing what's best for the community and partnering, it just, it threw us off guard that you sent an invite at this stage of the game. So I just want to make sure, are we all speaking frank here, or are we just trying to fill each other out? It's really hard to believe that, you really assemble our teams together when it's just you simply just want to apologize.
If there is no reason, though, there is no reason for anyone to apologize. I want to make that ultimately clear.
And that's what I want.
Can I take a stab at that?
Yeah, sorry.
I think it's the only reason, like, we want to know if there was a reason to apologize. We didn't come to apologize. We just want to know if there was a reason to. And we to be honest, I don't know if we knew that we were gathering like everybody. But I think, if we would have known that there was some things happening where there was some huge interest and there was the potential for another purchase that could have really made it happen, we probably would have went in a different direction a long time ago.
Let me say this. Ooh.
So I'll be finished in a minute, Nicole. We wouldn't have put this much invested this time and energy into this project. I mean, if there was another, because that means we could have done something in another part of the city, which means more resources for the whole city. So the only way I speak is frankly, you'll know exactly where I stand. And I think Chris is the same way. So this was not a call to get everybody in one place to apologize unless something happened.
There is no apology needed.
Where we did something that said, you know what, we don't want to mess with them because it was, we learned about this from somebody other than Nicole, is what I'm saying. Yeah. And
it's funny because I know that I put you in touch with Deacon Thomas, and Deacon Thomas and I have been talking on a pretty regular basis. And I assumed, and I know that that's not a good idea, but I had assumed that he was keeping in touch with you on every move that he was making as far as arranging a meeting on Saturday, not this Saturday, but next week Saturday. He just confirmed with me the time and the date before this meeting. And again, I assumed that this was something that Life Remodel was well aware of, as well as a meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. to go before the community. Now, is there some discrepancy? Has someone not gotten in touch with your organization to let you know that these things are happening?
Oh, again, you're kind of echoing what we said. We didn't hear about this from you, but we did hear about it from Chris. I think Chris mentions a few other community members other than you. So so to me, if we're looking to purchase a building, and we're having conversations, and then you decide, or you're on a team then it seems like you would make sure that we were aware of that or had known. That's all I'm saying. But
we would not have even had these meetings tomorrow or the following Saturday unless you knew that there was someone else. I don't understand how you would agree to be part of a meeting when you didn't understand that person was not interested in partnering with you, but was interested in purchasing Cooley, which is the purpose of those two upcoming meetings. So maybe Life Remodeled is confused about the reason for those Saturday meetings.
I think that there's probably some challenges in the communication style. If maybe right, and yeah, and maybe we just operate. There's some differences in the way that we operate and are accustomed to operate. I mean, at the end of the day, it's no offense taken on this side, and it sounds like there's no offense that we committed. So
I have nothing negative to say about you. I assumed, again, wrongly, now that you've helped me to see that, Dewan, that you were in touch with Deacon Thomas, who was arranging meetings to understand what the community wanted, meetings to have 2 different or maybe more interested parties who want to buy Cooley to come together and talk to the community directly and answer questions. So is what was your understanding?
You were right in that assumption. That's not, you weren't wrong in that assumption. You were right in that assumption.
Okay. I'm glad to know that. So we're inching forward toward understanding, which is the goal
Right,
of any meeting, right? Okay, so where is the discrepancy now? Do we have any remaining discrepancies to address?
No, there's no discrepancy on this side. I think
all right, so we're all coming together on Saturday?
I don't know anything about a meeting tomorrow. This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Well, that's great, because then that means that I don't have to go. Because if you're not going to be there, there's no reason for us to be there, is there? That's great. Thank you. I will make sure. Joyce, I know you're on the call, or at least I saw you. Joyce Brooks, are you there?
I'm here.
There you go. I see you. Can you please speak to Chris and Dewan, who you've already met? Remember, they were, they had their own meeting at one of your monthly meetings to describe to the community what it is they wanted to do for Life Remodel. I know you remember them. I don't need to say anything else. That's for the record. That's for the record, guys.
No, when you came to Bethune Community Council's meeting and expressed your interest in purchasing Cooley and wanted information from the community as to what they would like to see happen to Cooley, we expressed our interest to Deacon Thomas. I also know that Nicole had been trying to purchase the property for a number of years. And I, which I guess is wrong, made the assumption that Deacon Thomas was keeping you abreast of what was going on with Nicole and her group. And I was assuming, which once again, you don't make assumptions. That
did not do that.
The 2 groups were going to come together and talk with the community and let the community decide which group they wanted to go with. That was the understanding that I had. Now, maybe my understanding was wrong, that it was not Nicole's group that was being chosen or your group that was being chosen, but that since this was going to be a community project, the community wanted to be involved so both sides could present what they felt was going to be in the best interest of the community, and then the community could decide which way they wanted to go.
So does that clarify anything for you, Chris?
I mean, I was made aware of the meeting on March 6th that your group was going to be presenting, our group was going to be presenting. Again, all I wanted to understand from this call was there something you wanted from Life Remodeled that I didn't want to speculate, right? I've had community members say, hey, I think Nicole wants to partner with Life Remodeled. And I didn't want to speculate whether that was true or wasn't true. And that's why I wanted to ask. I didn't realize it was going to be a large meeting. And once I saw that you had a few other members on there, I invited several other members from our staff and our board. And originally I just was planning for a one-on-one conversation, right? But this has been an honor, to be able to hear from you, Nicole, from team members. And again, we want what the community wants. We want to support what the community wants, and we want to bless what the community wants. We want to bless you, and we want to thank you for all the incredible work that you've done, the ways that you have worked together with us prior to this point. And anything comes along the way, I would just like to invite you. If we do something that is offensive or you find offensive, I would love to hear about it directly so that we can change it. I'm glad to know we haven't, and that definitely helps me, to rest assured that we're in good graces. So.
Well, like I said, it was the decision of the owner, or the nonprofit founder, and you would have to address that with them. That has nothing to do with me or I'm a paid employee. I'm sorry to I just work here. I just work here. So it's his decision, not mine. It's his and his wife's decision, not mine. So he would be the one to talk to, and maybe there is an apology. I don't know. So that is the direct person. And when the meeting is over on March 6th, which is Saturday, and I know that meeting is at 11, sometime very soon thereafter, you'll be able to address that very question that you asked me and my team to him and his wife directly.
Yeah, and I just want to be clear that just so there's no confusion for anybody, for if there was, that
yes,
if the community decides not to partner with Life Remodel, we will be going to another community. We're not going to be looking to try to partner with if the Cooley community chooses another organization, right? I just want to make that really clear.
I understand that, and you made it so clear in your face-to-face and the Zoom meeting that took place thanks to President Brooks. So thank you for clarifying that, because not everyone here was there. So that's good. Again, for the record, so helpful. And Chris, thank you so much for recording this meeting. I think we've really come to some great understanding and clarity that we didn't have before. And my apologies once more for everyone, especially to you, Dewan, because I see your face, your facial expression looks really angry. So I hope that I haven't monopolized your time over something that was, a misunderstanding to begin with, that was not intentional.
So yeah, I mean, you have to blame my mom and my dad for my face, the way my face looks.
You have resting angry face, don't you? You have resting angry face.
They're responsible for this, but no, this isn't my angry face. But though, I like to actually own my anger. And one of the things I like to say is I am an angry Black man. I think I got a lot of stuff to be angry about, but you're not responsible for that. I'm also
thank you
at the same time, and a bunch of other emotions, but thank you for being concerned.
well, Brandy has the right idea. She's got her mask on. We don't know what Brandy's thinking back there. So she's got it going on. She's got the perfect poker face of all of us. And I thank everybody really, truly. Renard, I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to really formally meet, but I have had the wonderful chance, like I said, of meeting Chris face to face a few times, and Dewan as well. And so I'm sorry Terry wasn't here as well for me to say, it's really been a pleasure to know all of you. And just like I said, I thank God for you. I thank God for you because you gave me something that has helped me learn a lot of lessons. I've learned a lot of lessons from this that are valuable. And I know I can pass them on to others and help them too. Lifting as we climb, I like to say.
Amen.
Amen.
Have a good one.
Well, it sounds like that's a great ending. Chris, did you want to take us out with a great prayer?
I'll never pass up an opportunity for prayer.
All right. Please. And I know not everyone is of the Christian faith, and I understand if you have to leave or go to another meeting, please don't take this as offensive. It's just something I have learned. I just have to say a testimonial. I never understood Jesus until the second time around with Cooley. Like, I understand why Jesus wept. I understand why Jesus sacrificed his life. And it's incredible to me. Like, I just have to share with you, it was on Thursday, and my husband was cooking right there. And I turned to him and I was like, I understand Jesus now, Lamar. And he was just like, yeah. It was a very, very special moment in our house. And I told my kids, and they were, so that's why I say I thank you. I thank God for you. And it's just, this has been incredible for me. Like, I never would have had my eyes open in this way if it had not been for you and your team. Truly, truly, truly. Each and every one of you. And my team. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Would you like to pray?
Nope, I already did mine. Sorry. I did one before you, not intentionally. Please have the last word. Please have the last word.
I don't need the last word, but I am praying. I love everyone on this call. I'm glad we're brothers and sisters in Christ, Nicole as well. And yeah, thanks for the time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. And we'll see you not tomorrow. We're not doing the tomorrow, are we? No, we're not doing tomorrow, right? There is no meeting tomorrow, just next week, Saturday at 11.
Hey, unless we're tricking you just so you won't show up.
I know, wouldn't that be funny? That would be a good one. It just has to take place on like April 1st. That would just be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate.
No. Y'all have a good one.
See you guys.
All right now. Bye-bye, everybody.